This morning, I am going to ask you to tell me a story. And the story I want you to tell me is the story of the three little pigs. Anybody heard that one? Yes. Okay. Once upon a time, there were three little pigs, and their mama sent them off into the world to find their fortune. And she said, "Be careful, because there is a big bad wolf." There's a big bad wolf. So they went off and they built their houses. And the first little piggy, what did he build his house with? Straw. Okay. And the second little piggy, what did he build his house with? Stakes. Wood. That's right. What did the third little piggy build his house with? Okay. Oh, wait. Tell me a minute. So. And then, fee, fi, fo, fum. Little pig, let me come in. What does he say? Not by the hand, my chin. I will not let you come in. What does Big Bad Wolf say? I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in. Then what?
It broke apart.
The house blew down. What happened to the little pig? He ran into the next house. Has anybody heard anything different? Anybody else heard anything different? Sorry, Emma?
I said the wolf ate him.
The wolf ate him. That was the original story. The wolf had ham with his eggs for breakfast that morning. Okay. Then the big bad wolf comes to house number 2. Little pig, let me come in.
No.
I will not let you come in. What does he say? Well, I'll puff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in. And the house blew down. Then he comes to the brick house. Third little piggy, he was a smart piggy. And he built a strong house. And the wolf said, I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll huff, and I'll puff. And he couldn't blow the house down. Now, what happened to the big bad wolf?
He went through the chimney and got cooked.
He went in the chimney and he got cooked?
Yeah.
Anybody else? Yeah?
He probably got into the house and ate all the pigs.
Oh no. I've never heard that one before. Yeah. He went to the chimney and fell in the fire.
He fell in a pot of really hot water.
He fell in a pot of really hot water. That was the version that I read when I was a kid. Well, I think in the end, the big bad wolf went, whoo, whoo, and he came to a sticky end. He came to a bad end. Thank you, children. Thank you. So Jesus tells us today about bad people coming to a bad end. Now, in the story, as it was originally written, little piggy number 1 and little piggy number 2 don't do very well. It's a meat lover's special breakfast for the big bad wolf 2 times. I heard one version of the story. Piggy number 3, this was a commercial. Piggy number 3 was a member of the National Rifle Association, and that big bad wolf we ain't never seen again. Wait. Can I talk? Let me talk. Anyway, so we don't like, in our society, we don't like bad ends. We don't like sticky ends. I'm glad all of you know that the big bad wolf comes to a sticky end. I'm kind of glad that piggies number 1 and piggies number 2 get to escape and run next door. That's nice for them. But sometimes we've got to be careful, because bad people, wickedness, evil, murder, injustice comes to a bad end. And God promises that. Jesus says in the gospel, He will put those wretched men to a wretched death. He will put those wretched men to a wretched death. Our culture doesn't like that. Our culture sanitizes that. Our culture says, if you make silly mistakes, if you don't build your house well, you're going to be able to run next door and you'll be okay. That's not what the original says. That's not what Jesus says. You know, kids, in a sense, the story says this. Listen to your mama, who says, build a good, strong house, because there is a big, bad wolf out there who likes to eat little pigs. So how do you build a strong house? You build it through prayer. You build it through coming to church. You build it through being good with God's help. And you build it by keep coming to Holy Communion and asking Jesus Christ to keep you safe, keep you joyful, and keep you holy. Thank you for listening. God bless you. So, wickedness and murder. We see some extraordinarily bad people in the gospel. This vineyard owner sent servants saying, hey, I want the wine. You're supposed to be making wine for me from this vineyard. So they killed them. He sent more servants. They killed them. And finally, he sent his own son. You all know who Jesus is talking about. He's talking about God. God is the owner of the vineyard. And we all know God sent his only son. And what happened to him? Right over there. They seized him, dragged him out, and killed him. They seized Jesus. They dragged Jesus out, and they killed Jesus. And you know what? That is what the wicked tenants out there, in here, and in here want to do to any good person. Because there really is a big bad wolf out there who loves to eat little pigs, God's children. If they seize Jesus, dragged out Jesus, and killed Jesus, they'll seize you, they'll drag you out, and they'll kill you. But make no mistake, the owner of the vineyard sees and he knows. He sees wickedness. He sees injustice. He sees murder. You know, those wicked tenants, their plan was, Jewish law said, if there was no heir, the tenants get it all. It's party time. Believe me, just as Jesus says, it will not be party time when he comes back. He says in Isaiah that the vineyard is his own people. The vineyard is Israel. The vineyard is the church. And this is what he says. My loved one had a vineyard on a fertile hillside. He dug it up, cleared it of stones, and planted it with the best and choicest vines. He built a watchtower in it and cut out a winepress as well. Then he looked for a crop of good grapes, but it yielded only bad fruit. Now, you dwellers in Jerusalem and the people of Judah, judge between me and my vineyard. What more could I have done for my vineyard? What more could I have done for it? When I looked for good grapes, it only gave me bad fruit. Now I will tell you what I am going to do to my vineyard. And later in Isaiah, in chapter 63, we hear what God does to the bad tenants in the vineyard. It's horribly graphic. Jesus says, I will trample them underfoot as one tramples grapes in a winepress. It says in Isaiah 63, there is a picture of God with his clothes stained blood red. And the prophet says, Lord, what have you been doing? And the Lord says, I have been taking care of my enemies. In other words, I have been dealing with those who do wickedness and murder and injustice, even in my vineyard. I dealt with them all by myself. Nobody helped me. I didn't need any help. And his clothes are stained blood red. That is a sticky end. God help anybody who falls into that sticky end. You know, children, I was going to have you mash up grapes in a vat just to see the sticky end that God plans for wickedness and injustice. But I couldn't. I thought it's too bloodthirsty. You're all going to enjoy it for all the wrong reasons. Jojo's nodding her head, I know. But that is the sticky end that wickedness and evil, even in the church, will come to if those people don't repent. You know, in our culture, in our society, and unfortunately more and more, we hear that voice of rebellion, that spirit of rebellion that says, I don't care if you think I should be harvesting wine, I'm going to party, I'm going to be lazy, and if you tell me no, I will kill you. I think God knows human nature a lot better than we do. And unfortunately, within all of us, without that grace of goodness and self-control, all of us can murder, all of us can party, all of us can kill the messenger, the Son of God, or anyone the Son of God sends. We hear more and more in our society, really that satanic voice, that's the only word for it, it's satanic, and it says, I will not serve. We've all seen it. I will not serve. I will not serve. And that is the voice of the devil. And we know that he sees and he is coming. God help us all. So what do we do? What do we do? We who want at least to be good. We who want to produce the beautiful wine of goodness and kindness and holiness and love in the vineyard of Christ. What do we do? Well, St. Paul tells us. St. Paul tells us about good people. And he mentions some of them by name. He says, be he talks about the household of Stephanus and how they devoted themselves to the service of the holy ones. That's you and me. And he says, be subordinate to such people. Serve good people like that. Let them tell you what to do. Let them tell you how to help. Let them tell you how to serve the Lord. And he mentions Stephanus, Fortunatus, Achaicus, and he mentions Aquila and Prisca. These good people. And we've all met good people like that. There are so many of them amongst us. People who serve. Not people who go around saying, like Cartman, respect my authority, but people who serve. People who are good. I remember I went to a Catholic conference and somebody gave me sandwiches. There was a lady who had felt led by God to go and buy a massive pallet full of sandwiches and give them out because she realized that people would need lunch and that there wasn't a very long lunch break. So she bought maybe 50 packets of sandwiches, that can't have been cheap, and gave them to people. Thank God for people like that. Thank God for Aquila and Prisca. Here they are. This was a married couple who provided a home for St. Paul when he was in Corinth for 18 months. And these good people are mentioned in the Bible 6 times in different places. How wonderful. Thank God that God still gives us good people like Aquila and Prisca. And when you find them, be subordinate to them. Serve with them and love with them. And that's how the church will produce its harvest of good wine. Obedience is never an easy thing, especially when you're asked to do something strange. And there's stories about at least 3 different saints in different places who were asked to do a very crazy thing. Their superior asked them to go water a dead stick. Go water a dead stick, St. Rita was told. And the crazy thing is, she did. She didn't argue, water a dead stick? Who do you think I am? Do you think I'm some kind of slave? What's the point of watering a dead stick? I'm not going to go water a dead stick. That's dumb, that's dumb, that's dumb. I will not serve. No, she said, I will serve. And she went every single day and she watered the dead stick. She didn't complain. She went the next day. She watered the dead stick. She went the next day and the next day and the next day simply because she'd been told to do so by a good person. And one day, how long was it, Jojo? Do we know how long it took? A long time. But one day, that dead stick bore life. That dead stick produced a green shoot. And in another story of another saint, it produced a date. And the monk gave it to the abbot and said, taste the fruit of your goodness. Taste the fruit of obedience. Are there storms in the vineyard? Yes. Have we had storms in this vineyard? Yes. Have we lost some treasured vines? Yes. What are we going to do? Are we going to sit there and yell, I will not serve? Or are we going to be like these people and produce the fruits of holiness and kindness? Like these people who refreshed St. Paul's spirit. And all the good people amongst us who have refreshed and will continue to refresh our spirits. Let us all, in spite of the storms, in this vineyard, as we wait for the owner who sees everything. Oh my God, he sees everything. Let us be like Priscilla and Aquila and all those good people and produce the wine of goodness, of obedience, and of love. Glory to Jesus Christ. Amen.